We're back from BlogWorld NYC, BlogWorld New Media Expo 2011, and I'm here with Rob Barnett.
Hello, hello.
How you doing, Rob?
I'm well. This is fun.
This is fun. MyDamnChannel.com.
Guilty.
We were speaking yesterday about My Damn Channel, and it's something else. I went online. It was great. I checked out some of the videos. You told me about an IKEA video.
Yep.
With Keanu Reeves.
Yes.
So for people who don't know what it is, what is My Damn Channel?
MyDamnChannel.com started 4 years ago, and the idea for us was to reach out to some of the best talent we could possibly get, people from film and television, people from music and comedy, and create original online series like the television of old, but without any of the red tape and nonsense that gets in the way. So we work really fast, we have a great time, and it's supported by advertisers who are looking for ways to do things that are a little more interesting than, say, a banner ad or a pre-roll video. Well, you're a traditional media guy in the sense, right? Your background is in traditional media. That's how you came. I started in rock radio and did that for a long time, and then I worked at MTV and VH1. So I got schooled pretty well in how to create things, but just realized in 2006, 2007 that there was just too much going on at places like this to not meet the people that knew what I knew absolutely nothing about, which was a little bit of technology, and then just marry it with, all the good art and fun that comes with making original entertainment. How's the transition been for you? It's been really fun. I mean,
would you consider it easier? Would you consider it more challenging? Is it different? Is it challenging in a different way?
All the cliches turned out to be true. I mean, I never had my own business before, and everybody said, "Look out, you're going to work twice as hard.
Sure.
The hours are going to kill you. You're not going to make much money at first. It could take forever." All those negative cliches are true, and then all the positive ones are doubly true. The freedom that you get by not having that boss walk in and go, "I'm sorry, can I talk to you for a minute? Yeah, we got to take these. We got to take this microphone." Yeah, that moment that they could pull this away from you at any second, when you're somebody that works as hard as we all work to make a show like this get out there. The idea that the rug can get pulled out, is what pushes a lot of us into places like BlogWorld to want to meet people that are total DIY. And that's the good of it, that you don't have to die unless you kill yourself.
Sure.
You know what I mean by that?
It's I mean, you kind of control your own fate, right?
That's
you
right.
could. One aspect of network has been, in a way, and it sounds strange to say it, I don't want to grow faster than I can manage, because that could happen. It's like a tornado. It just hits you when it hits you, and if you're understaffed, you don't know how to present yourself properly, you could really damage your business, and there's no recovery from that. Well, it's an excellent point. I mean, everybody would love the problem of starting out with tens of millions of dollars of funding, let's say. Sure.
But if you start a small business, especially if you start a new media business, you can make a lot of mistakes by doing exactly what you just described, getting ahead of yourself, getting, underwater by having more than you can handle. So, one of the great tricks for us came from the guy who really makes the business run. The co-founder and the chief operating officer is a guy named Warren Chow, and his warnings were about just what you talked about. It's like, don't hire too many people till the revenue's there to take care of it. Don't have the big fancy office until you've earned something that has nicer furniture. So these things start very punk ass, and they only build correctly if you build legitimacy from a real audience and real advertising that wants to back GFQ. You can't just fake it. You got to make it happen by getting 5 of them to become fans and get 5 more fans. It's hand-to-hand combat. It is, and it's amazing. I'm a huge radio fan growing up. Being in New York City, radio was something else in the 90s and late 80s, and it's kind of transitioned. Having a background in radio, where do you think the state of radio is right now? Well, the thing that's the most inspiring thing happening on radio for me right now, having grown up in it and lived it and loved it for most of my life, hated it for a few minutes,
Sure.
but I always seriously loved it, is to look at somebody like Adam Carolla and see what he's done by moving into literally his garage and putting a show together exactly like you're doing here, and then day by day, podcast by podcast, climbing to the #1 most downloaded podcast on planet Earth. That's inspiring as hell. And you're seeing other broadcasters becoming podcasters, and I can't wait to sort of close my eyes and open them 3 or 4 years from now and see how that thing evolves. Who the hell knows? But it's exciting. I mean, it feels like college radio in all of the goodness that it had.
in all the goodness, absolutely. It really is, and I gave a presentation on broadcasting on your own terms, and it really is on your own terms. When in traditional radio, it's on the terms of your bosses, right? And in an aspect, it has to be. You can't go out there and do whatever you want, and as the boss of the network, I kind of understand that. I have a couple guys, they do an unfiltered type show, and I have to be that big bad program director that says, you can't say that, you can't do that, because I have to appease the sponsors and keep the audience. So I'm kind of playing both sides of this, and it's an extremely difficult task. I have respect for the broadcasters themselves that go out there and do it, and now I have respect for the bosses that have to say, no, you can't do that. But now it's you make the call, right? You're deciding what goes on. MyDamnChannel.com, you have A-list celebrities on there that do skits and are part of it. How has it been convincing them to go to this type of medium, go to this type of broadcasting and television? Yeah,
there's 3 things that it takes to get, a major talent to want to do something like an original series at My Damn Channel. They're all 3 of them equally important, so I wouldn't put them in any particular order, but I can list them for you. One is to pick an artist who's really capable of entertaining the hell out of you, and give that person more creative freedom than they've ever had in their entire show business life. So that's one way. The second way is to pay them, and pay them as much as you can, and not assume that somebody should just do this work for free to build GFQ because you want them to.
Absolutely,
And then the third thing is to prove to them that you're going to work your ass off night and day to make sure that anything they do for you is going to be seen, and seen by a lot of people. Because to get a big artist to come show up and do an interview and then have it, get 15 views on the web is kind of disrespectful. It's just like a waste of their time.
It's like a punch in the stomach.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's like. You get like a Keanu Reeves, for example, and it's like 100 people. You go, ooh, what did I do wrong?
Yes.
Because now it's on your side, right?
That's
It's not them because they have the name recognition. It's about how you marketed them.
Yeah, so
and how you sold it.
It's about, that's right. It's marketing, it's money, and it's really respecting talent in a way that they don't normally get from, let's say, the sort of old model.
So My Damn Channel is celebrating a birthday.
We are, yeah. I was telling your wife a minute ago that you guys are 2 years old. When we were 2 years old, we put out an invite to the party. We said 2 was the mathematical equivalent of 90 web years. So
it really is. Things move really fast.
So you should be proud.
I know.
That
I've survived.
Because lasting is the single most important key to winning, right? You're lasting. So
lasting on a scale that's relevant.
Yeah. So we've doubled it. So now we're celebrating our 4th birthday.
That's amazing.
So I guess that means we're 180 years old.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
My God. Where do you see it going? Where do you hope that My Damn Channel goes, and where do you hope to take it?
Well, we grew it gradually. Like I said, we didn't have a big staff. Had hardly any staff. The staff was a few people who, trusted me that I was going to eventually get them decent salaries, and did. It was very, very small. In the next week, next Thursday and Friday, we're having kind of a historic day in our company. We're flying in 17 of our brand new sales reps. We now have 17 people in 8 different cities in the country whose job it is to go take the My Damn Channel story to every potential advertiser in the world, and get them to understand that there's an opportunity to work with really great talent and reach an audience in a way that, like I said earlier, is very different than just throwing up a couple of banner ads
Absolutely.
on a website. So for us, it's really this next year is about just introducing and reintroducing our company to more people that want to take the ride.
Off the air, you were telling me some methods of advertising that My Damn Channel does. We do live reads here on the network, and I'm a strong believer that if you believe in the product and you talk about the product and you use the product, especially in my case, I'll be able to sell it more because I don't have a celebrityhood, I don't have a name that many other people have, and that's been really the selling point to GFQ. With you, you're doing different angles with advertisers, right? I feel that you have to constantly change it. You can't just put a banner ad and say, well, hopefully people will click and it'll be worth it for me.
You can if you have 10 million people
Sure.
looking at
Yeah.
what you and I are doing, and that can really be pleasing to somebody who knows they're going to reach that kind of a mass audience. But you look at one of the greatest media minds and media talents of planet Earth, Howard Stern,
Sure.
and say, what has he done for advertisers with live reads? I mean, he's almost single-handedly created successful brands by his ability to just
Snapple, 1-800-Mattress.
communicate directly to an audience that believes in what he's saying. I mean, that's pretty powerful stuff.
Yeah.
So I think you're smart to do it because again, you're getting out of that mode of like a canned 30-second commercial and really talking directly to an audience about somebody that is smart enough to back GFQ. I mean, that's what you want. You want that to be. I sometimes think about the way public broadcasting does it. There's just this perfect credibility contract between the creator, or let's call them the disseminator of good programming, and the people who back it. It just sounds so fucking credible.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you realize I'm watching this amazing piece of art and they are very simply and specifically thanking this company for allowing them to do the work that they do.
Yeah.
It's a pretty basic, simple contract, and sometimes in new media we forget, everybody's always trying to sort of reinvent the wheel.
Absolutely.
The old wheel's pretty good. If you go and present GFQ to an advertiser, explain to them what they're going to get, and sell it in maybe sometimes the simplest ways possible, that can work.
Absolutely,
You don't have to, cure cancer.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a strong believer in
It'd be nice if you did. You'd probably get
make a lot of money.
Did, yeah.
I honestly believe that the simplest solution majority of the time is the best solution. And for my case, it's live reads for me, just to talk about the product and sell it that way. I feel it's beneficial to my advertisers. What are some things on My Damn Channel right now? So if somebody goes on mydamnchannel.com right now, what should they check out?
Well, if you've never been there before and you're hearing this blah blah for the first time ever, the first shows that put us on the map about 4 years ago are things like You Suck at Photoshop.
That's brilliant.
That show got tens of millions of views and every accolade you can get. I won't describe it, but check it out.
Yeah.
Harry Shearer is one of the greatest minds and creators and entertainers I've ever known, and he does political satire in all shapes and sizes. We have a music channel that's run by Don Was, who's one of the greatest music producers in the world. We have a couple of news series that are on right now. One of them is called Gigi Almost American. It's created by a guy named Josh Gad and a comedy troupe that he's a member of called The Lost Nomads. Josh is currently the star of the Book of Mormon on Broadway, which is killing.
It's doing amazing right now.
The hottest ticket on Broadway in ages, and so that's a comedy series, kind of a slapstick called Gigi. We also have a new show that stars Patricia Heaton, David Hunt,
wow, big names,
William H. Macy, and Fred Willard, and that's called Versailles. That's brand new. So we're trying to put something out there every day. But unlike most sites that have thousands and thousands of videos, we're more like an HBO or a Showtime ripoff. We're doing like 1 or 2 high-profile things at any given time,
and doing them well,
and trying to do them well, trying to promote and really put a spotlight on the individual creators instead of just throwing thumbnails up on a website and hoping you click all over the place. I think stuff gets lost that way.
I agree with you 100%. Rob, thank you so much for coming on,
man. Yeah,
I appreciate it.
Good luck to you guys.
MyDamnChannel.com. We're going to be continuing coverage on BlogWorld New Media Expo 2011 when we get back. Thank you, everybody.